10 before the hour. From Kay Petrini regarding the State of the Union, Kay writes, "Hey, Mike, today marks the first time since I began teaching U.S. government over a decade ago that I did not give students the assignment of watching the State of the Union address. Why? Because it is also meaningless. More pomp and ceremony, more beautiful words that in the end bear little resemblance to reality. Instead, my students' homework assignment is to read this past Sunday's New York Times article entitled Obama's Turn in Bush's Bind with Defense Policies, and to respond to a series of questions that I hope will make them think critically about the real State of the Union." Okay. Yeah, for real. What's the difference between drone attacks that kill innocent people and sniper attacks? The reason I ask, there was a big piece in the paper today about military leaders and law enforcement officials and thousands of other people who went to Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas on Monday to remember Chris Kyle, the retired Navy SEAL sniper who was killed along with his workout buddy by a former Marine who obviously was suffering from PTSD. I don't know. I can't, while I feel sorry for this man's wife and children, and these are serious questions. How do you, his kids are young. His kids are what, 8 and 11, or 8 and 6. How do you explain to children, if it should ever come up, that Daddy has killed 160 people and he's done it from far, far away? At the same time, I see this article in the paper about a Congressional Medal of Honor being awarded to a former Army sergeant who truly committed acts of heroism. Now, let's stipulate that there was a reason for this Army sergeant to be in Afghanistan. Okay? We've got to start from that point or the story falls apart. But he was a soldier at a place called Outpost Keating, where there were American soldiers were attacked by 300 Taliban fighters. Now, according to the New York Times, during the day-long attack on Combat Outpost Keating, the sergeant, Clint Romesha, 31-year-old Army Staff Sergeant, showed, according to Barack Obama, conspicuous gallantry in taking out an enemy machine gun position, calling in airstrikes that killed 30 Taliban fighters, laying down covering fire to allow 3 soldiers to run to safety, and scrambling through a fusillade of enemy fire to recover the bodies of fallen American soldiers. When you compare that, you can be opposed to war, as I am. You can feel that the invasion of Afghanistan was a major mistake, which I do. Well, at the same time, you can look at acts of valor within the context of battles, whether those acts of valor are committed by us or not us. Those acts do occur. And certainly if anyone deserved a Congressional Medal of Honor, this guy did. In the meantime, 7,000 people crowd into a football stadium to pay tribute to a man who sat hundreds of yards, if not thousands of yards away from his targets and squeezed off bullets that killed them. And I just have to question, I really do, the Congressional Medal of Honor Army sergeant was face-to-face with the people who he was trying to kill and who were trying to kill him. He was in an actual combat situation where the SEAL sniper, the most effective sniper in the history of all warfare, sat back and plinked people off of rooftops 1,500 or 1,000 yards away. And I don't know. What is that? Is that heroism? He was referred to as a hero. And interestingly, when asked why he joined the military, he said it was because he wanted to he wanted to get revenge for what occurred on September 11th, 2001. Or he wanted, I don't think the word revenge is in there, but where is it? He, here it is. He described his use of being a sniper, his deadly skill, as payback for the 9/11 attacks. But those attacks weren't committed by Afghans. Those attacks were committed, if you accept the official story, by Saudis. So when the American super sniper, with 160 kills to his credit, when he made that statement about it was payback for the 9/11 attacks, what does that mean? I mean, how do you refer to somebody? 7,000 people who attended his memorial service were there because they saw him as a national hero. I wonder if among the crowd Hannity was there, or Beck, or Limbaugh. Those thugs are all war groupies as long as somebody else does the fighting. Remember Hannity's concerts for veterans scam? Remember that? That was investigated, wasn't it? I wonder how that worked out. I remember how Hannity used to travel first class on money collected for veterans. Nice, huh, Sean?